Hello everyone. Welcome to Pharmacovigilance.update. Today's topic is basic terminologies and pharmacovigilance. Let's start with abuse. Prescription drug abuse is the use of a medication without a prescription in a way other than as prescribed, or for the experience of feeling excited or getting high. Misuse. According to the FDA, prescription drug misuse may involve not following medical instructions, but the person taking the drug is not looking to get high. Adverse event. Any untoward medical occurrence in a patient administered a medicinal product, and which does not necessarily have to have a causal relationship with this treatment. Adverse drug reaction happens when a patient using a pharmaceutical product at a normal dose for prophylaxis, diagnosis, treatment, or for the modification of physiological function encounters an unintended noxious response. Side effects. An unintended response related to the pharmacological properties of the drug of helpful or harmful in nature when a patient using a pharmaceutical product at a normal dose for prophylaxis treatment or for the modification of physiological function. The assumed average maintenance dose per day for a drug used for its main indication in adults. Potency denotes the amount of drug needed to produce a given effect. Efficacy is the maximal effect that a drug produces irrespective of concentration. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you. DSUR Development Safety Update Report. It's a type of aggregate report. So, format and content of a DSUR is described in International Conference on Harmonization, that is ICH Guidelines E2F. A DSUR should be concise and demonstrate that sponsors are adequately monitoring and evaluating the evolving safety profile of the investigational drug. A single DSUR for an active substance moiety, regardless of the formulations, include data relevant to all dosage forms, strengths, indications, patient populations, etc. Regardless of the number of sponsors involved in drug development, a single DSUR is prepared. Sponsors should submit DSUR from 1 September 2011, when it became mandatory in the EU. A DSUR is to be submitted annually. The data log point based on development international birth date to be submitted within 60 days from data log point must arrive to the competent authority no later than day 60. Now we'll see what are the duration of DSUR submissions, indicated by national or regional laws or regulations. When submission of an annual report is no longer required in an individual country or region, the sponsor should indicate that the final DSUR serves as the last annual for the investigational drug in that country or region. The sponsor should also indicate whether or not clinical trials are continuing elsewhere. Benefits. It assures regulators that sponsors are adequately monitoring or evaluating safety profile of investigation medicinal product. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you. Individual Case Safety Report, that is ICSR. It is defined as an individual case safety report where information is provided by a primary source to describe suspected adverse reactions related to the administration of one or more medicinal products to an individual patient at a particular point in time. Data can be categorized in two different subsets: initial and follow-up cases. Initial cases The minimum information required for the submission of an initial case report is an identifiable patient, identifiable reporter, suspected reaction, and suspect drug. Follow-up cases, the relevant information which was not available in the initial case should be asked specifically for documentation in the follow-up case. Process should be in place to avoid duplicate reporting of ICSRs to the regulatory authorities. Now we'll see what are the limitations: underreporting, variability in quality, subject to biases, timeliness of receipt. Now you'll see what are the strengths, cost-effective, applicable to any marketed drug anywhere in the world, covers entire post-marketing life cycle. Now we'll see what are the basic steps: case receipt, triage, case analysis, peer review, medical review, quality control review. ICSRs are completion, that is, submission to regulatory authority. A duplicate search is performed in the database to identify whether an adverse event report is an initial or a follow-up report, and to avoid duplicate entries of the same safety report. A report is the primary source of the information, the person who reports the facts. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you. Marketing authorization types. We'll start with national authorization. In this, if an applicant wishes to obtain a license in one member state, that is reference member state RMS, an application must be made to the national competent authority, that is regulatory authority for that particular country, which then issues a national license for that medicine. For more information, you can visit the link provided. Next is mutual recognition procedure. The MRP is to be used if the aim is to register in more than one member state, and the medicinal product in question has already received a marketing authorization in any member state at the time of application. The MRP is based on the idea that a national license approved in one EU member state, that is reference member state, should be mutually recognized in other EU countries. Those are called as CMS concerned member states. Next is decentralized procedures. The DCP in general follows the same principles of the MRP. A license approved in one member state should be mutually recognized in other member states, assuming that the evaluation criteria in the EU member states are sufficiently harmonized and are of the same standard. The next is centralized procedure. Under the centralized authorization procedure, pharmaceutical companies submit a single marketing authorization application to EMA. This allows the marketing authorization holder to market the medicine and make it available to patients and healthcare professionals throughout the EU on the basis of a single marketing authorization. EMAs, Committee for Medicinal Products for Human Use, or Committee for Medicinal Products for Veterinary Use, carry out a scientific assessment of the application and give a recommendation on whether the medicine should be marketed or not. Thank you. SDEA. SDEA stands for Safety Data Exchange Agreements. These are legal written contracts, ensuring that all safety data regarding a licensed product makes its way quickly and reliably back to the marketing authorization holder, so that they may fulfill their legal obligations to aggregate safety data and to submit safety reports in a more timely manner. SDEA are prepared between different stakeholders, such as marketing authorization holder and manufacturers, marketing authorization holder and distributors, marketing authorization holder and MAH, licensing partner or cross-licensing partner, marketing authorization holder and batch release site, marketing authorization holder and clinical research organizations, etc. If some or all pharmacovigilance activities are being outsourced, including medical information, call centers, adverse event processing, the SDEA needs to be comprehensive, detailing which parties are responsible for which activities, even though the ultimate responsibility lies with the MAH. The types of data and activities governed by SDEAs differ from company to company and from product to product. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you. PSMF, Pharmacovigilance System Master File. It is a modular document containing all of the details of the pharmacovigilance system for the product. The PSMF may be requested and assessed by any national competent authorities during marketing authorization applications or post-authorization. Its content should reflect global availability of safety information for medicinal products authorized in the EU or UK, with information on the pharmacovigilance system from both locally and regionally activities. The MAH is responsible for establishing the PSMF and for registering the master file location with the competent authorities in the marketing authorization application and in the XEVMPD database in case of EU. Now we'll see what is the objective of PSMF. It states that the MAH, that is Marketing Authorization Holder, is in compliance with the legal requirements stated by the respective competent authority. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you. Drug interactions. Drug interactions can be categorized into 3 groups: drug-drug interactions, drug-food interactions, and drug-disease interactions. Now we'll start with drug-drug interactions. Most commonly, a drug interaction means an interaction between 2 or more medicinal products, defined as pharmacological or clinical response to the administration of a drug combination, different from that anticipated from known effects of 2 agents. Such interactions may result in change in nature or type of response to the drug, that is pharmacodynamic interaction, or a change in magnitude or duration of response to the drug, that is pharmacokinetic interaction. Now we'll see drug-food interactions. This includes interactions with interval feeding foods like herbal teas, caffeinated beverages, etc. Interactions with nutrients intake like calcium-fortified drinks. Interactions with alcohol, tobacco, etc. Now we'll see drug disease, that is immunoallergic reactions, interactions. Such adverse drug reactions are not proven to be immune-mediated, but resembling hypersensitivity or allergic reactions, and are referred to allergic-like or pseudo-allergic reactions. Immunologically mediated ADRs accounts 6 to 10% of all ADRs. Dermatological adverse drug reactions represent the most frequently recognized and reported form of allergic adverse drug reactions. That's it for this video. Thank you. Medical coding. Medical coding is performed to categorize the clinical trial-related medical terms in a more standardized format so that they can be analyzed or reviewed. Now we'll see coding systems. Thesaurus Management System, that is TMS. TMS is a centralized, globally available repository of dictionary terms and associated verbatim terms. It supports all dictionaries required by international regulatory authorities, and can support and integrate with company or organizations' specific dictionaries and legacy applications. Now we'll see what are the issues with medical coding, unclear terms with insufficient details, multiple signs and symptoms as a single term, etc. Now we'll see coding dictionaries. Coding dictionaries are important tools used in processing, analyzing, and reporting of data collected in clinical trials. Dictionaries are updated as follows: MDR, that is, Medical Dictionary for Regulatory Activities, twice a year in March and September. WHODD, World Health Organization, Drug Dictionary, updated quarterly every year in March, June, September, and December. WHOART, World Health Organization, Adverse Reactions Terminology, updated quarterly in March, June, September, and December of every year. BNF, British National Formulary, twice a year. Now we'll see what are the purpose of medical coding. To code new and amended dictionary terms like drug terms, adverse events, diseases, medical procedures, etc. Now we'll see what are the issues with medical coding: illegible verbatim term, spelling errors, use of abbreviations, multiple signs and symptoms recorded as separate events, etc. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you. QPPV requirement after Brexit. Now, what is QPPV? It's a qualified person responsible for pharmacovigilance. He or she is an individual, usually an employee of an or representing foreign pharmaceutical company, who is personally responsible for the safety of the human pharmaceutical products marketed by that company. Now we'll see what are the Brexit rules. QPPV should reside in the United Kingdom. If residing in EU or EEA, that is outside of the United Kingdom, then a pharmacovigilance person should be appointed in the UK and his details to be shared with UKMHRA. He or she would be called as National Contact Person for Pharmacovigilance. Temporary exemption in place. That is for the person who is residing other than in the UK is allowed only for 12 months from January 1st, 2021. Deputy pharmacovigilance person is not required unless existing pharmacovigilance person is on long sick leave or on maternity leave. Once PV person appointed by an MAH, his details needs to be shared with MHRA via MHRA submission portal. You will receive email immediately after completion of QPPV update form on MHRA submission portal. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you. Aggregate Reports. Now, what is Aggregate Reports? A review of cumulative safety data from medicinal products obtained from a wide range of sources, including clinical studies, spontaneous reports, and literature reports on a periodic basis, and submitting these findings to regulatory agencies worldwide. Aggregate safety reports play a key role in the safety assessment of medicinal products. The exact type of report that is required varies by country and with the approval status of the medicinal product. Objectives to update and evaluate the worldwide safety experience with a medicinal product at defined time points before and after approval, to provide a concise summary of safety information and an evaluation of the benefit-risk profile of the medicinal product, to identify safety information that would require further investigation of the product, to comply with the regulatory guidelines, changes to the approved medicinal product label in order to provide up-to-date information, Now we'll see what are the sources for aggregate reporting: clinical studies, spontaneous reports by healthcare professionals, patients, etc., literature, adverse drug reaction reporting systems of regulatory health authorities, etc. Now we'll see some of the examples of aggregate reports: Development Safety Update Report, DSUR, Periodic Adverse Drug Experience Report, PADER, Periodic Safety Update Report, PSUR, Summary Bridging Report, SBR, Addendum Report, etc. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you. Allergic adverse drug reaction. Allergic adverse drug reactions means any drug that has the potential to cause an allergic reaction. Symptoms may include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, headache, etc. Allergic adverse drug reactions are divided into 4 immunological categories. Type 1, anaphylactic reactions. Type 2, cytotoxic reactions. Type 3, immune complex mediated. Type 4, T-cell mediated, that is delayed type. Ideally, an adverse drug reaction should have a profile consisting of the following elements, which are manifestation, severity and seriousness, mechanism of action, frequency of occurrence, causality, predisposing factors, therapy if any, reversibility or sequelae, etc. Now we'll see what are the sources of adverse drug reactions. Spontaneous reporting by physicians, pharmacists, nurses, consumers, etc. Adverse drug reaction monitoring schemes in hospitals, clinical trials, vital statistics, which includes mortality and morbidity registers, birth registers for congenital defects, literature articles, social networks and websites, emails, fax, telephonic conversations, etc. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you.